My name's Tom Meyer. I'm 29 years old and I'm a full-time barista at Wiener Rösthauses and a part-time trainer at the Wiener Coffee College, which is just behind me. We are here in the Wiener Prater, which is both an amusement park on the one hand and also a recovery park, so to speak, like a green area in the heart of Vienna. Most people come in and are just a bit overwhelmed with what we've done with the location. They see a very elegant looking place in a way. So my boss really takes care of that, that people come in and they are a bit overwhelmed with the decoration, so to speak. And then on the second reaction, they are really a bit stumped by the selection of coffees that we offer, both beans and also the recipes. The very famous Austrian Kaffeehauskultur, or what you would call coffee house culture in a way, has become really popular just over the past, I want to say 2 centuries. It started all with where coffee came from through colonialism. It entered Europe and then just loads of different influences in Vienna. And it just sort of became this, this social institution in a way. Where businessmen would meet and talk politics, or basically, even artists would meet and just come together. So it was really like about connecting people in a way. And to this day, that's been the case. We have people go to coffee house for meetings or even after meetings, and it's just become this like really important, way for people to connect over a coffee, basically have common ground in a way. So the most famous or the most well-known Austrian coffee is, I guess you would say, the Austrian Melange, or Wiener Melange, which is just a mixture of a shot of espresso and a bit of steamed milk. So it's steamed in a very specific way, and that sort of makes the recipe what it is, and also makes it well-known throughout the world. So latte art has been around for about 30 years. It's really been popular the last, I want to say 10-15 years maybe, and it's becoming increasingly popular in pretty much every country that knows something about coffee, I want to say, so that really has an emphasis on good coffee. I believe it was invented in 1992, or I should say the term was coined in 1992. And it's just been increasing in popularity up to the point where now we have latte art championships, which are global and even national. The idea was to have a cappuccino that is decorated in a way, drawing a pattern such as a tulip or heart or the swan even. And so today's latte art championship, for instance, are just extremely focused on like really high quality and very finely drawn patterns, so to speak. We've been doing it here for a while now, and customers love it because when you get your coffee and it has a nice tulip or something, people go, "Oh, that's so cute," and it just makes the coffee taste better in a way.
My name is Florian Kalender. I'm the roasting master here at the Wiener Rösthauses. I'm responsible for the coffee quality. Of course, we only use best coffee beans. The tradition goes back a few hundred years. All started with roasting with an iron hand pan overhead fire. The technique has developed, of course. We are using fancy machines like this one in the background. But the principle is the same. We're trying to heat the coffee beans until a certain temperature in order to develop the aromas. Especially here at the Rösthaus, we try to work out the best flavors, and therefore we have to develop the amount of heat we are adding to the roast. It's also very important how long the roast is lasting. If I'm roasting the beans not so hot, then I have more fruity flavors. So if I'm roasting darker, so with more heat up to higher temperatures, then I have more chocolatey flavors. That's the most important difference. before you start roasting, you have to define your certain goal. That depends on the roasting degree, that depends on how much acidity you want to have. For example, here at the Viennese roast, we are aiming for a very sweet coffee, not too much acids, high body. And if I know my goal, then yes, there is a perfect roasting curve for that. First of all, you have to fill the roaster with green beans, or even before you have to heat up the roaster up to around, let's say, 200 degrees Celsius. Then you fill the roaster with the beans, and once the beans are in, the roasting process is started. And the first phase is mostly about drying the beans. A lot of moisture is released from the beans, and you can see that on the color change from the beans. As we are putting them in, they are green, and after a few minutes they are turning yellow. And then a very special phase is starting. The coffee is starting to get darker and browner, and that's called the Maillard phase. And there are very important chemical changes within the beans, and that's the phase where all the aromas are developed. Then we are waiting until the roast degree we want to achieve, a certain shade of brown color. And as soon as we have reached that, or we have reached a certain temperature, we are releasing the beans into the cooling bin, and there they have to be cooled down as fast as possible in order that we stop the roasting process very quickly.
My name is Michael Haller. I'm the head trainer of the coffee school of the Wiener Rösthauses. This is where me and my trainers all train people to become baristas and coffee experts. When you think about trends nowadays, we have a strong cold brew trend. So brewing coffee with cold or room temperature water for a very long time. This is one trend that's nowadays very popular. And also filter coffee gets more attention back again because the coffee quality worldwide increases, and filter coffee is a preparation method that needs very high quality coffees. If you prepare the wrong coffee in a filter brewing way, it doesn't really taste that good. So you need high quality coffees, which we have nowadays, and that's why it will expand. And I personally think that filter coffee is a trend for the next years and decades to come, and people will appreciate a great cup of brewed coffee. 3 tips for making great coffee at home is like the top 3 maybe. Yeah, there's a lot of different steps, but get good equipment. Don't start off with the cheapest of the cheap. Just get a decent coffee equipment, espresso machine, or also filter equipment. If you're into that, would be one very important thing. Also, get a great quality coffee. Don't start off with a cheaper coffee and then go more expensive. Just try different beans, try different roasts, but also look out for quality. That's always a very important thing. And lastly, get some knowledge. Like, you are the one that has to prepare the coffee the right way. You are the one in charge to get the right substances, the right aromas out of the coffee into the cup. And so a barista course, for example, would be a great way to learn how to make great coffee. Yeah.